Welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. Well, we're back home for my 2-week trip to Vietnam, and man, we had a blast. I mean, I'm just being honest with you, but I made one big mistake of all the things I did over there. I booked the wrong flight, leaving Saigon, coming back to Manila. I booked a 12:35 a.m. flight, arriving back to Manila around 4 a.m., man, and we lost the whole day, really, because, you know, when you fly international, they say, hey, go to the airport 4 hours before your flight. So we arrived at the airport in Saigon about 8:30 p.m. Didn't get back to the Philippines until 4 a.m. So we were up all night. Then we get to the Airbnb here. I'd already wrote the guy and told him, hey, we're on an early flight. Can you have somebody waiting in the lobby? I'll leave the key. Oh, yeah, I knowed it. Didn't happen, man. So we're exhausted. So we finally check in. We lost all Monday. So it's Tuesday morning here now. And don't make that mistake, guys. You know, I'm satisfied with Cebu Pacific, though. I'm really shocked. They were on time. You know, they've got good equipment, you know, good planes. The whole flight was smooth, no turbulence at all, simply because the whole flight is over water. And just look that up yourself as to why, you know, flights over here are generally smooth, even in country, because it's mainly over water. But no matter what people tell you about Vietnam, it's a great place to me. I know some people's like, oh, don't believe the hype. Well, you have to go for yourself. You know, I wouldn't lie. I don't have to make up anything. It was a much-needed change. You know, we had been here, well, I'd been here, it's going on 8 years now. I hadn't been anywhere but Thailand for those 5 days, and that's not long enough. We do plan on going to Thailand. You know, Marilyn wants to see Thailand. But we're going to go back to Vietnam first. We're going to spend the whole summer in Vietnam. We'll probably go to Da Nang. You know, they've got a direct flight to Da Nang now. I don't know if it's in Manila or Cebu or both, but there is a direct flight. So we'll spend, you know, about 2 months in Vietnam, which is probably enough. You know, a guy, shout out to Young Fresh Global Travel. He said, man, you know, I really like your videos that you didn't put the Philippines down, you know, when you went to Vietnam. Why would I do that? This is my home. You know, I can talk about different places, different subjects. That's one good thing about my vlog. It's not just Philippines, 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 and shove it down your throat. So the whole 2 weeks I was there, I never talked about the Philippines. I never made one video about the Philippines. There's so much content over there. All you have to do is keep the focus on yourself, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a vlogger, and you'll never run out of content. It's when you start trying to make up all of these crazy topics and talk about all these trendy subjects, do you run into a problem. But when you just focus on your own experiences, because I tried to show you a diverse, you know, look at Ho Chi Minh City as much as I could. You know, we were only there 2 weeks. A shout out to Stephen and Bear. I'm telling you that they made all the difference in that trip. I mean, they took us to some nice restaurants. Of course, we went to that Bui Vien, the walking street at the end. And, you know, I even got pushed back on that. I mean, you can't satisfy people. So that's why I never try. I just put my vlogs out there and say, hey, the hell with it. But some guys was like, oh, it looks like pickpocket heaven and all that stuff. Guys, y'all must really be miserable wherever you're from, wherever you're watching from, because that is a nice area. That's the only walking street I've been to where it would feel appropriate for me to bring my woman, which of course we did. It's just like one big party. It's like a party. Yeah, they've got the nitty gritty mixed in there, and, you know, women, you know, they'll give you that look, and you see the ones all dressed the same. Yeah, they're selling something. They've got a product to sell, but for the most part, you saw it was more foreign women on the walking street than there was dancers and, freelancers. But we had a great time. I mean, really, if you're in the Philippines, you owe it to yourself to visit Vietnam. Hell, it's less than a 2-hour flight. I mean, I guess 2 hours is the max. It's such a short flight that you'll kick yourself by not going over there. And some people don't like it. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. That's why we're going back. 2 weeks is not enough. You don't get to see everything. Hell, I didn't even go to the, what's it called? Is it the Mekong Delta? I forgot. Excuse me, because it's still early, but we didn't even go there. We were going to ride the bus down to Nha Trang, but KT Vietnam, he called it Nha Trang. I don't know how to pronounce it, but we didn't go there. There's a lot. We didn't go there. Hoi An, we didn't go there. Of course, Da Nang. There's so many other places we need to see, but there's no place like home. The Philippines is home for me. But guys, Vietnam is everything I told you it is and more. Okay? I don't even talk about women, guys. There's more to these places than women. If all you stuck on is women, certainly here in the Philippines, man, you're cheating yourself. You're never going to learn anything. Because me and Marilyn, we were talking about it at the airport. We arrived about 4, let's just say by the time we got our luggage and everything, went through immigration, it's about 4:30 a.m. And we see this American guy. He has to be American. I know what Americans look like. And, he's just goofy looking. A skinny head, knowing that he would never have a girlfriend in America. He's got a nice looking woman here. And everybody knows, for whatever reason, I can't tell you that every man that comes over here looking for a girlfriend, a wife finds one. Don't tell me to really explain that. I just say 18 to 80 blind, crippled, or crazy, but any reason I give you, you're going to misinterpret it. You're going to say, oh, I'm putting the Filipino people down, I'm exploiting the women. Just know that if that's what you're coming for, you're going to get that, guys. But it's much more to these places. Certainly here, man. It's so beautiful here. People want you to compare. I can say that the Philippines, in my opinion, is more beautiful. It has more of a tropical feel to it than Vietnam. But other than that, I'm not going to compare those places, man. Because you have to put one place down to raise the other place up. You can have it all. You can enjoy both the places. They're that close. We met a guy at the gym, and his significant other, well, he's from Vietnam, but his significant other lives here in Manila, in Makati. Okay, and they got a relationship. Matter of fact, the guy was just in Vietnam the same time we were. Left on Sunday the same day we did, but his flight was at 3 p.m. It's so close. They just go back. It's no big deal. But yeah, Vietnam is all that, man. It's a change of pace. And if you're in Vietnam, man, you owe it yourself to come to the Philippines. And then hop on over to Cambodia, Thailand. It's all right there. Once you get to Vietnam, the flight from Ho Chi Minh City to Bangkok is an hour and 25 minutes. That's what's on the books. But it's always closer. I believe that's gate to gate. Because it's not going to take you an hour and 25 minutes. Just like the flight from Manila to Bacolod, they say it's an hour and 25 minutes, but it's 45 minutes on your worst day. And that's probably about what it is to Bangkok. And then, you can even take the bus to Cambodia. And, people talking about, we can't just enjoy ourselves and have a good time and live vicariously through others. So I always got to be negative. So some guy, he's all in my comments. I'm like, oh, yeah, Vietnam, you ready to crack down on the 90-day visa. And guys, why would we worry about that kind of stuff? You guys are party poopers. I don't get it. Y'all must really be miserable. They said that about Thailand and look at what Thailand did. Yeah, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You have to understand Vietnam and Thailand are not the same. Vietnam doesn't have a retirement visa. All the foreigners that you see living over there, only just a small fraction, other than the tourists, I mean, just a small fraction are on some other type of visa. Don't you realize they're all on that tourist visa? Vietnam was going to have to come up with a solution first, how to appease all of those visitors, all that money. They're not just going to throw all that away, but y'all don't think about that. All y'all want to think about is to try to, rain on somebody's parade. I'm so happy, man, that I got out of that matrix. It's just a terrible place. I'm just telling you just about the people who are in my comments. It has to be a terrible place. I'm glad I can come somewhere, kick back, relax, and don't have to worry about that stuff. I can live day to day, moment to moment, basically. But we had a wonderful time. That's why we're going to take the children. That's how much we liked about it. It doesn't mean I don't like the Philippines. I love it here. I've been coming here on and off since 2009. I've been living here going on 8 years. I built 2 houses here. My whole life is here. Okay? So thank y'all so much for stopping by. I booked the wrong flight, man. We're just now getting back to normal. So it's a good thing that we decided to stay here one day to rest up. Then we'll leave in the morning for Bacolod because I've got some company coming by, I believe Thursday. And, we're going to host them and they can stay in the guest house if they like, depending on what time they get here. But don't make that mistake. There's so many flights between Ho Chi Minh City and Manila, Ho Chi Minh City, that it's okay. It's best that you take the flight during the day because it's such a short flight. You can just hit the ground running. It's not like you're coming from America. There's really no time difference. There's 1 hour. There's no jet lag associated with it. Don't make the mistake I made because it cost us a whole day yesterday. We were in the bed. By the time we got to sleep, hell, it was 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Then we wake up, it's 3 or 4, we get something to eat. Hell, it's 8 o'clock. Time to go to bed again. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. And don't do anything stupid. Stop listening to these armchair bros in these comments. These guys are miserable. They got all the answers. They never been anywhere. Make that decision for yourself. Don't even listen to me. But y'all know I've been on here for going on 6 years. I don't have to make up stuff. I'm not going to lie to you. I enjoy Vietnam. You can believe the hype that I showed. I was so happy. A friend of mine, he's in the gun. Oh, don't believe the hype. Dude, I'm disappointed in you for saying that. You make it seem like I'm lying. Different strokes for different folks. I was there for 2 weeks. Just like I fell in love with Manila, having been here for 2 weeks. You got to stay there for more than a couple of days. The language barrier, yeah, but that's nothing that should stop you from that place. There's so much history there. We went to the War Museum. I got a whole video coming on that. It is life-changing, guys. People told me that, Cal, when you come out of that place, you're not going to be the same. It's true. I got a lot of footage, but of course on my Patreon, I want to put the war crimes and the effects of the Agent Orange because I don't believe YouTube would monetize the video if I showed it public. So if you want to see all the atrocities and everything, you're going to have to go on my Patreon. But take care, everybody. Thank y'all so much for all your well wishes and the safe travels and all of that. I'll see y'all next time.
Boots on the ground, don't do nothing stupid. Give that man his flowers, a tribute through music. If I